So my name is Olivia Grier. I work for Chestnut Real Estate. I have been in the industry for just over 7.5 years, but I have about 15 years of marketing and client service experience, which has been so helpful when I kind of decided to transition to real estate. The market is kind of ever changing, whether it be week by week or month by month. And I feel like that marketing and just client management experience has been very helpful when, helping my clients every single day, whether it's a new challenge or a new strategy that we're trying to implement. And it's been very helpful for them. And it also keeps me, on my toes and always thinking of a new way on how to get them the best offer and make them the happiest.
What was your first impression of real estate when you started?
So I started off as assistant, which I honestly feel like every new agent should really start off in that format. It's so incredible to help illuminate your knowledge. But really, it came down to emotional intelligence. Even for the most analytical client, data-driven client, real estate is emotional. You are dealing with multiple parties, and it's my job to really create a very calm and thoughtful, guided experience for my clients. It doesn't matter what background you have or, how you naturally fall into, your own emotional intelligence. I think everyone needs thoughtful guidance and they need trust. And that at the end of the day for an agent is our core priority.
What was your biggest surprise about the role?
I would say the biggest surprise about the role is how important preparation is, and what looks seamless from the outside source really isn't accidental. There's a really well thought out process that goes into, whether it be buying or selling, and having an effective strategy that both you and your client are signed up for is a hole in one.
What is one thing clients are often surprised to learn about you and your process?
One thing clients are often surprised to learn is I think how detail oriented I am and how committed I am to the process. Sometimes I feel like I'm also a part of that buying and selling process. So really my goal for them is for them to be able to focus on the decision making so I can focus on all the logistics. That's my job. For them, all that they have to deal with is decision making, and I provide them with all of the facts. So it's a clear delivery so they can make the best decision and the most informed decision as possible.
How would you describe your approach in one sentence?
My approach in one sentence would be thoughtful guidance, clear communication, and a strong strategy from start to finish. Buyers and sellers, there's a lot of ups and downs in real estate, and it truly is about riding the waves and meeting your clients where they are. And, maybe you veer off, but it's always keeping that bigger picture in view. And I think that's really effective because no real estate transaction is a straight line.
Give us a one-word description that clients would remember you by.
I think one word to describe me is handcrafted. I feel like I offered a very tailored approach based on, clients' personalities, what they need, how they want to connect. And I think that really is important when dealing with different people with different requirements. And I think that creates a very successful relationship.
What is the best part of your job?
The best part of my job is definitely seeing scenarios where a client just walks into a house and they know it's it. I once had a client walk into a home, and we were in the living room, we were looking through things, and their daughter actually walked for the first time in this home. And, I remember this often because it just makes me realize, how important it is what we do. We're not just connecting people with houses, they're homes where there's memories, first moments are happening, and it just makes me immensely privileged to be able to experience that.
What is the most underrated skill in real estate?
I would say the most underrated skill is knowing when to slow things down. Real estate is very fast moving, never mind in multiple offer situations, but when emotions are running high, I always like to tell my clients, let's just take a step back for a second, let's have a breather, we'll reconnect, and then we can move forward.
When it comes to closing a deal, what skills matter the most?
When it comes to closing a deal, I would say that it's the relationship you also have with the other agent. And I think it's ensuring that, both the buyer and the seller walk away feeling like they are both happy. And I think establishing that relationship with the agent out of the gate and open communication is really important and often overlooked.
What role does social media play in helping clients make better decisions?
Social media makes a a really big difference. And I would say that, when I'm looking for a content account, it's not just about the same, post over and over again. I think creating engaging content and content that maybe people haven't seen before, little tips and tricks, not your everyday piece of information. I think that that's what creates a very helpful content platform for clients to really educate themselves.
For someone who feels unsure of buying or selling, what would you tell them?
I would say surround yourself with professionals that are like-minded to you, that you trust, that have a fantastic track record, and that listen to you. I think at the end of the day, real estate is about partnership, and there are many quote unquote cooks in the kitchen. I think choosing a great agent first and foremost is fantastic and will get you a long way.